Welcome back to Hope for the Holidays. My name is Jessica. Today we're going to talk about family recipes and how that can help in healing. So let's get started. This time of year there's a lot of baking and a lot of cooking going on. A lot of us all have these recipes that are handed down from generation to generation, or they're just something that someone that we loved made. I'm here to encourage you to go ahead and make those recipes this year if you feel up to it. Why would we do something like that? Well, for one thing, cooking and baking engages all five of our senses, right? There's the smell of cooking, there's the sight of like what you're going to eat, you can hear things cooking and baking, and then you, of course, especially if you're making something like cookies or something like that, you can feel what you're doing. And engaging all of those five senses mindfully, so sort of paying attention to what you're seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching, can help with anxiety, kind of grounding. If you want a quick tip for helping with anxiety with the five senses, there's a thing called Find Five, and I'll link a video to it below. When we're grieving, we also sometimes will have a loss of appetite, and sometimes making a family favorite recipe can really help with that loss of appetite. It's something you want to eat. And then most importantly, making a family recipe is a chance to talk about the person that's missing, and to share your memories with them, and to just sort of talk about like why this dish is important to you and what loved one it reminds you of, or what loved one used to make it. I'm going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite family recipes, and then two of our staff members are going to talk about their favorite family recipes as well. But my family has a recipe that we make every year during the holidays called lefse. It's a Norwegian recipe, and it's a tradition in my family to make it every year around Christmas time. My great-grandmother, Great-Grandma Halls, she taught my grandmother to make it, and she taught my mother to make it, and my mother taught all of us to make lefse. So every year my mom gathers up as many of her children are around, and grandchildren, and we get together because lefse is an all-day undertaking, and we make lefse. And it's a way we honor my great-grandma's Norwegian heritage, my great-grandma herself. We honor my grandma, who's still alive, but who makes lefse too from her home in Arizona. And we just have a really good time, and it's a good time for togetherness for our family. Up next is our executive director, Alex Treitler, and he's going to talk to you about his family recipe.
Hello, this is Alex Treitler. I wanted to share with you today a little bit about St. Lucia Day and the traditions that I learned from my grandmother Ruth, who died a few years back when she was 101. On Lucia Day, December 13th, we used to bake, and I still bake, lussekatter is what they're called in Swedish, which are little saffron buns in an S shape. You cover with an egg wash and get this golden color. And baking them, the house just fills with the scent of saffron. They're saffron buns. That's how our house would smell on December 12th and 13th when we were baking. There's a picture here of these S-shaped buns. When I was growing up, my sister, who was the oldest daughter in the house, would dress up in this long white gown, put a crown of candles on her head, and then the four of us would go in a parade singing these special Lucia songs and bring coffee and these saffron rolls called lussekatter to my parents or to the elders in the house. I still bake these today. They remind me of my grandmother. They were a wonderful part of the holidays. I love them. This is how I like to remember my grandmother Ruth. It's a part of our holiday tradition.
Up next is Melanie, and she's going to talk about a family recipe that she has.
Hi everyone, my name is Melanie Bexell. I'm the Operations System Manager for Children's Grief Connection. Tonight I made my Grandma Leora's French meat pie, which is ground beef, ground pork, mashed potatoes, onion, and seasoning put into a pie crust and baked. This is a pie that she would make around Christmas time, New Year's, and all of our family really enjoyed it. I haven't made this for a very long time, so it's kind of been fun to make it now. It just reminds me a lot of her and the love she had for our family. She always loved having us come up north, and she would love to bake, and this was one of her favorites. I hope everyone has wonderful holiday season. If you're able to make something that reminds you of a loved one that has died, I would highly recommend it. It just makes you feel more connected to them in remembrance of them.
I want to challenge you to make these family recipes this year. It's okay if you completely screw it up. It's okay if you don't have that recipe. You can go to the internet and sort of figure out one. It's okay if you make it and nobody eats it. The important part is that you tried, and that in your trying, you honored your loved one that has died. We hope this exercise is a fun challenge for you and your family. We hope it brings you a little comfort and a little peace this holiday season. And we hope you'll join us every Wednesday until the end of December for the rest of our Hope at Home series.